All right, let's check this one. Obviously here we have a tricky situation. So let's try to first see what it gives us. So if I remember, this is greater than 1. So if I put it up to infinity, and both of these will give me infinity plus infinity, which is infinity. Then here we have over infinity. Remember, we said that this, we're accepting that it should give us 0, because as it's approaching infinity, it becomes as close as possible to 0. Meaning that here we give ourselves this situation where we have infinity power 0. Okay, and we say that this is indeterminate. We don't know what the value is, so we have to circumvent it. Okay, now this one is very tricky because we need to, when we're trying to get rid of this, we need to create zeros somewhere. Okay, now you will see that here, or ones or constants. So now you see that here and there we'll get infinity in any case. So now let's try a method that will not work, and then we'll to convince you that the method we use is making sense. So for example, if I came here, I'll ignore this for now and simplify, right? So here we'll have 3x like that, then plus, because this is the most obvious, then I'll do 3x and 3x. Okay, with a view of creating something like infinity by infinity or something like that. Okay, then we maintain our power thing. So what I'll do, because I'm trying to create this constant and the one here, I'll factorize this. Okay, so I'll factorize 3x. Okay, so I'll remain with 1 plus 3x here, and then I'll have this power here, 1 over x. Okay, so what is next? What is next is that this will come in and work with this. So I'll have 3x like that. Then here I'll have plus, I'll have brackets rather. Okay, then here I'll have 1 plus 3x like this, 1 over x. Now you see what we've run into. Here we've got 3. Okay, and then here we have 1 plus 3x, and then we have 1x. Now what have we done? Yes, we've got something that we can use here, but what about here now? Okay, here we still have our issues, because this will tend towards what? It will tend towards infinity, influencing this whole thing to be infinity. And then this will still tend towards 0, meaning that we'll still come back to this situation. So factorizing 3 power x is not going to help us to solve this. Okay, and this is why we had to show this. Now let's get rid of this and try another approach. Now I can actually bring this back and help us see the solution from here. Okay, how are we going to see the solution from here? It's actually, the secret is here. We need to make sure that this also tends towards 0. Okay, if this tended towards 0, then we have a chance of having of reducing this to something else. Like if this tended to 0, we'll have 1 power or whatever power 0. Then at least we have a chance. So now let's try. Okay. All right, so what are we going to do differently now? So again, I'll just ignore the limit, then I'll put it back at the right time. So here we have 3. Okay, so here we have 3 like that. We have 3x plus 2x, right? And then we have 1 over x here. Okay, so now what we'll do is that we are going to try and see if we can create our fraction like we discussed. So here we're going to have 3x just like this, Then here we're going to do this 3 power 2 x, okay, like that, so that we make it bigger, right? So this now will change to 3x plus 9x. Then we still have our power thing. Now what we do is we factorize this, the 9x instead. So we're going to factorize 9x. Okay. Then what are we going to have here? We'll divide 9x into this. So look at this. We're going to have 3x over 9x. This is essentially what you're doing, right? Then we're going to have what? We're going to have 3 over 9. Then we have x, like that. So this one gives us 1 over 3 power x. This is what we remain with here. That will be our quotient. So 1 over 3 x, then plus 1, then power 1 over x. Right. Now it's beginning to make a bit of sense, right? So now I'm going to expand. Actually, this is not here. This is actually here. Okay. So I'm going to expand this now into everything. So I have 9x, 1 over x. Then here I'll maintain my 1 over 3 power x plus 1. Okay. Then 1 over x, like that. Then we can put back our notation for limit here. We're approaching infinity, right? So what do we have here? We have 9 because these will cancel out. Then here, if you want to see why this actually tends towards infinity, it's because it's the same as this. So you have a very big number here, okay, and then it tends to 0, right? So plus 1, right? And then I'll have 1 over x. So again, we bring back our notation like that. Now, what happens here if we were to put this in? So we can now say this is going to be 9, and then this is going to be 1 over infinity, because this becomes infinity, then plus 1, okay? And what does this become? This becomes 0. We can see from there that becomes 0. So that doesn't matter what the contents now are. There's no limitation because this becomes 0. So this is 9, and then this becomes 0 plus 1 power 0. So this is 9, and then we said 1 power 0 is acceptable, so it's 1. So here we get 1, hence our limit is 9. So you see, we have to understand, if we didn't understand that we were supposed to create a fraction here that should tend towards 0, we were still going to have a number that was going towards infinity. If it goes towards infinity, then we'll continue circulating around the same point where we are told that this is undetermined. So we cannot use that. But because we understood that this was supposed to reduce to a number that was tending towards 0, so we knew that we could actually factorize 9x. So it's just about seeing these patterns, and then you actually manage it all the best as you go through.